Meeting to order. This is a Doraville City Council meeting being held Wednesday, August 20th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the temporary location for Doraville City Hall. Doraville is proud to be a city of civility. While differences of opinion are natural, let us approach each other with open minds, speak with courtesy, and treat one another with dignity and respect. Respect is the foundation of good governance, and we thank you all for upholding the spirit of civility with us. I will call the roll. Mayor Geierman, I'm here. Councilmember Evans, did you make it on? Oh, he said he was going to log on with Zoom, so hopefully he'll be here. Councilmember Ray? Councilmember Henshaw?
Here.
Councilmember Simmons?
Here.
Councilmember Kuntz?
Here.
Councilmember Armistead?
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. I would like to ask everyone in attendance to please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next on our agenda is, if anyone has, Councilmember Simmons, do you want to make a motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda?
Yes, I'd like to approve tonight's meeting agenda, but move letter C from unfinished business to next month.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. All right, and for the next order of business, I will come down there. Can I ask the team from Baldino's to come up and join me, please? Come on up, and I think the camera there is going to be looking at us. So I'll just say, this is an exciting day. We get to recognize a business in Doraville that has been here for the last 35 years. I was just talking with that founder, and they've actually been an ongoing concern for the last 50 years. So as someone who turned 50 himself this year, that is, it got interesting thinking about that timeline. So I think anyone who lives in Doraville is familiar with Baldino's. The city of Doraville is proud to recognize and celebrate the outstanding contributions of businesses that have demonstrated unwavering commitment, resilience, and excellence over the years. Baldino's giant Jersey Subs in Doraville opened its doors in 1990, and for 35 years, it has provided excellent customer service, offering Jersey Subs known for freshness of its ingredients and bread baked on site. Over the past 3.5 decades, Baldino's has built a reputation for its altruism by giving cash contributions and subs to organizations like the Kiwanis Club, supporting local school sports teams, and programs fostering strong customer relationships with the Doraville community. They've adapted to the changing needs of the community while maintaining the highest standards. Consistency of the product, hard work of the staff, and community service have been the key to their success and testament to the vision and leadership of founder Bill Bayer. The hard work and dedication of partner Justin Tate, as well as the loyalty and skill of its employees, many of whom have been integral to the restaurant's growth and achievements. Baldino's has not only contributed to the economic vitality of Doraville, but also supported local initiatives, charitable causes, and community events, making a lasting positive impact beyond its core business operations. The city of Doraville wishes to commend Baldino's for reaching this remarkable milestone and to thank them for the ongoing commitment to excellence in service. Now, therefore, I, Joseph Geierman, Mayor of the City of Doraville, Georgia, on behalf of the Doraville City Council, do hereby proclaim August 20th, 2025 as Baldino's Day in the City of Doraville, and present this proclamation to Bill Bear and Justin Tate, who are partners in Baldino's, and encourage all residents to join us in celebrating this momentous 35th anniversary and to recognize the value of longstanding businesses in our community. And I have two of these, so I think and I'd like to invite any of you who would wish to speak to say a few words if you like. Even just inviting people to come to Baldino's.
Got anything you'd like to share, big guy?
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say thank you for all the support. And we just really, really are happy that everyone is here to support us and congratulate us. And we just want to continue to be part of the community and do everything that we can to support everyone and provide everyone with everlasting service.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you all as well. 50 years, you had to rub it in. Yeah. Anyway, I was well along when you turned 0. I wanted to also point out Jeff Price was with us when we opened the store, and he continues to grind it out every day. You can tell wear and tear. But I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to thank you all for coming to visit him, and Justin, who obviously is doing an excellent job with the store and a good operating partner to have. I try to stay out of their way as much as possible, but I will come in and get a sub every now and then. But once again, thank you all. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much.
I'll get that. Thank you.
And I just also want to recognize them for taking time. I know it's a local business, restaurateurs, it's hard to get away. So thank you for coming to this meeting at a busy time for the restaurant. I'm sure we appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
We appreciate it.
I'd like to add that as a Jersey native, I have to come to you guys to get my fix from time to time. So thank you.
Know where to find us.
I see Councilmember Evans is with us, so welcome, Councilmember.
Thank you, Mayor. Apologies for being tardy.
Next on the agenda is public comment. So I'd like to invite anyone wishing to make public comment. We're going to start in the chambers to come up to the podium. You can have up to 3 minutes to speak on any topic you like. And we'll also go to anyone raising their hand. I see there's a hand raised. So once we pull in the first person, it looks like Tom. I can only see Councilmember Evans, so. All right, Tom, you should be able to talk once you unmute. Just state your name, where you live, and you can have 3 minutes.
Yeah, Tom Hart from Gordon Heights. Glad to see our friends from Baldino's are here. I've got a few pounds on my body from that particular location. It's a great meeting place in the city, probably the only meeting place in the city, really. And we're so glad that they're here. And my friend Jeff. Am I on?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, just my screen's all black right now. Okay. So there's a couple of things on the agenda tonight. I'm glad to see TSW is back because I was part of that when they were here last time. The guy that was the engineer running the thing, I was on the committee 3 times, and then the politicians threw me off 3 times, and their position was he's the only guy in the city that seems to know what's going on here. So we had the South Peachtree Road connector on the thing, and the planner at the time said 3 important things. One is the downtown plan made absolutely no sense because it's a topography. This is from TSW. The second thing is the city has way too much retail, and it's already zoned for plenty of apartments. Of course, the city of Doraville has followed none of those things. So And the other thing is this picture of the new city hall or the people's place, whatever that means. Okay. That sounds kind of woke to me, but it's sitting right on top of the old waterfall and the stream that ran through Flowers Park that was donated to the city by Dr. Flowers' family. And I'm still trying to come up with the deeds and the information regarding that site. The city's already gotten sued once because of it. And I'm trying to find out where all the paperwork is that goes with those 8 acres and all the land that Dr. Flowers' family donated to Doraville in perpetuity to be a park. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I see Susan, once you should be able to talk now. So once you unmute, just state your name, where you live. You can have 3 minutes.
Susan Frazee. I live in Oak Cliff Estates, and I want to say I am very much with the spirit of the proclamation celebrating 35 years in business for Baldino's. I've never met the two gentlemen, Bill Bauer and Justin Tate, but I'm very familiar with Jeff Price. He has been the face of Baldino's at every community event, in public, behind the scenes, and a very strong part of our community. And I appreciate him and that restaurant very much. Thank you. Well deserved. Congratulations.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Second discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, great. We're on to new business. What thing you're on?
Okay, the first, oh, come on, not again. No, it's not. The first case. Does this work? Okay. I'm just going to stand off to the side here. The first case tonight is a conditional use permit application for 5280 Beaufort Highway, and it is for a precious metals dealer for a retail jewelry store, and this is the Pine Tree West Shopping Center. The applicant is John Lee Andrade, who I don't believe is here tonight. That's the name. So here's an area for Google Earth. So Pine Tree West is, they're taking one of the suites near the front of the property, about 1,600 square feet. Here's their proposed floor plan. So about half the store is behind the counter as well. Some example photos of the kind of products that they're proposing to sell. So there'll be a retail jewelry store, and they'll also offer repair and fabrication and things like that for custom pieces or those kind of things. Example photos that Mr. Andrade provided of the kinds of equipment they'll have. Staff are recommending approval. Planning Commission also recommended approval. Neither staff nor Planning Commission had any additional.
Can I just ask a question to you? I know you didn't make this ordinance, but like, what's the rationale? Is it like that we're worried about crime for jewelry stores, or weren't there fronts for other businesses?
So the precious metals dealer definition in the whole ordinance encompasses anybody that handles gems, gold, silver, platinum, anything like that. So that includes both your retail jewelry stores like this and also like pawn shops. So anybody that handles those kind of materials, and my guess is it's probably something related to propensity for crime. I'll say in conversations with Mr. Andrade and other jewelry stores that we've had in the past, their insurance requires them to do a whole lot of security measures in order to safely store these kind of things. So that's probably not as much of a concern as it was in the past.
I think I was around when they made this ordinance or was watching, and they The concern was the predatory, like, buy, sell gold, or we buy gold here kind of stores that was kind of like Title Pawn. They were trying to head off those kind of places from just being allowed by right. It wasn't, the jewelry stores just get kind of caught up in this, but I'm sure you've seen those things where it's like, we buy gold here, and it's like, people have a hard time. They end up selling their wedding bands and stuff or pawning them, and then they can't,
Do you have any other comments or questions about this item?
not at all. No, totally fine.
Councilmember Henshaw,
No, I look forward to them coming to the city.
Councilmember Evans? I take that for a no. Councilmember Ray?
Yeah, just a couple. So, during the planning commission meeting, was there any discussion about security measures or what's required by their insurance, or is it more just?
They, I had a few things out here that he provided in his packet. So, I mean, everything has to be secured at the end of the night. There's like specific kind of safes and security systems that they have to install. They have to have 24-hour surveillance. I believe they hire security as well, a lot of times. So I don't know the full range, but
Okay.
yeah, provide that in his cover letter. But yeah, they have to do a lot in order to even get the insurance to insure the merchandise that they have.
Okay, cool. That's it for me.
Councilmember Simmons?
Thank you, Mayor. No questions. Thanks.
Member Armistead?
No questions, other than, do we require proof of insurance for somebody to open a business here?
I believe it'd be part when they come in for their business. license.
Okay.
And there's a separate license they have to get for precious metals as well. So.
Okay.
All right.
Question.
I think there might be another question before we do that. This is a public hearing, so kind of got sidetracked, but I want to open it up to any members of the public wishing to speak for this item. You can have up to a total of 10 minutes for everybody to speak on this item. I'm not seeing anyone come to the podium or raising their hands. So we'll move it to anyone wishing to speak against. Oh, wait, I see someone's, Dawn, your hand is raised. We'll unmute you.
I did.
Go ahead. Just state your name, where you live.
Okay, Dawn O'Connor, Northwoods. I was just thinking back to the Planning Commission meeting, and the applicant was there, and the request was for him to supply extra security. He was going to have cameras and things of that nature, but he seemed reluctant to supply any additional security. So that seems a little troublesome to me. We've got precious jewels, and obviously there's some risk to the store, and there's only going to be one salesperson or one CEO. I know they said they would have the area petitioned off where people can't just walk right in. But I think in this day and time, we need to be careful for our police people too. And this building, it looks like it's going in where the Kim's Pharmacy is or something. I think we have to insist. I'm not sure if Austin is clear on whether they will agree. The applicant didn't seem thrilled about providing his own security. So that would be something I think we have to insist upon. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item? Tom? All right, Tom, you're unmuted.
Okay. Yeah, Tom Hart, Gordon Heights. I had a couple things on this. One is, I'd like to get with the police department, their view on the security issue concerning the precious metal dealership. I know I had a friend who was robbed, and they took all the gold, family heirlooms and everything else, and took it to a gold shop, and they melted them all down, and all this family history disappeared. But security is one of the items that I would be concerned with, and would like to hear from the police department what their view of what's going on here. What kind of problems? It's like a pawn shop, and the pawn shop has a lot of regulations, and if you're going to turn something into ID and all that kind of thing, so they can track down stolen merchandise, and that's really I would be concerned about. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? All right, we'll open up people opposed to this item. Did we lower his hand first? Okay, allow him to talk. Tom, did you have anything else to say?
No, it just never went off my, from the first time I put my hand up. So nothing else. Thank you.
Anyone in the room? All right, so we're going to close the public hearing. Councilmember Simmons, did you have any other item?
No,
thought you
no
were
more
trying to-
questions. No, I'm good. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Evans, I see you're back. Do you have anything?
Yeah, sorry about that. Just having some technical difficulties. But yeah, I have some questions related to the security as well. I know that the packet said that there were no structural changes, but are they planning on having like the what do you call it, the garage door that covers or any bars on the door or the windows? Have they discussed that?
I don't know is the honest answer.
Could you hear that?
I heard no. Is that right?
I said I don't know, unfortunately.
Okay. And then with working with precious metals, are there any special waste needs that they'll have of disposal?
Not to my knowledge, no, sir.
Okay. That's my only two questions.
They probably don't want to dispose of much because it's precious.
Right. But I don't know if there's going to, some type of liquid that they have to get rid of or cutting materials.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, well, this is the first read. We can waive first read or it'll come back next month.
Can I?
Yeah.
Chief, can you? Just to clarify the air, do you have any concerns about a jewelry store operating the city? Like, you think they're gonna be like,
No, no,
stealing
no
people's
more than any
jewelry
other
or-
business. We have jewelry stores that,
Metal plate.
we have jewelry stores now, that we
right,
don't have issues with, so
right,
no more than any other.
right. I would be concerned if it was just we buy gold, but that's not what they're doing. That's why they did this, because some of those places are like, they take stolen jewelry and melt it down, or what- but a jewelry store is not gonna be.
This looks just like a
Oh,
jewelry.
just like a jewelry store. Okay. I'll make a motion to waive first read.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, I'm not hearing any opposition, so I'm saying that passed unanimously. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve CP 25-03.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, I'll call the roll. Councilmember Kuntz,
Yes.
Councilmember Ray,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans,
No.
Councilmember Simmons,
Yes.
Councilmember Henshaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Armistead.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. All right, next up, we've got McMillan, Pasden, and Smith.
Yes, this is, y'all are familiar. We've gone through the buildings. So this is Will and Autumn here to do the presentation. We've had a couple of feedback sessions and this has everything included. So y'all have seen it in your packet. And then we're hoping tonight for approval from council, which then gives them the go ahead so we can start building it.
All right, great. And you might give like a quick brief bio for the public too, just.
Okay. My name is Will Bryant. I'm a project manager and the civic team leader for McMillan Pasden Smith here actually in Atlanta, your close neighbor. I've lived in the Atlanta area my entire life, except for a short stint when I went out of town. And I'm really to go to school, but I'm really excited about the opportunity that you guys have here as a redevelopment project and as a way to sort of redefine an area of your town that has basically been paved over time. And It gives you an opportunity to come back and create a place where there once was a place again. So looking at I'm going to skip through to the renderings really quick to give you guys just a quick idea of, and the folks listening, where we came up with the look and feel for this design. The city of Doraville, as you know, as residents here, is a community that actually sprung out from an agricultural sort of whistle stop along the train line, and over time became a place where manufacturing was very important. And then as manufacturing faded out, it became a place where there was a lot of cultural diversity and a place where where sort of it's very forward leaning and always sort of changing. There are lots of very aspirational things about your town, and that I think are very remarkable to think about. And I think that when we look back at the architectural heritage of your town, those very aspirational things are also there as well, particularly when we look at the historic pieces of architecture that still give your town character. And that's sort of this industrial modern aesthetic and mid-century modern aesthetic, as well as sort of this, what is called Googie style architecture. It's a funny name, but it's an actual thing. If you think sort of like Jetsons era, sort of if you've ever flown to LA and landed in LAX, the middle control tower is a good example.
Or shaking crawfish.
Yes.
Down the street.
And or the bank building that's right across the street from it. So what you see as examples of that in your community are actually that sort of brutal. It's a sort of very futuristic leaning, brutalist style that when you combine it with a lot of the other architectural heritage of your community, we sort of landed on this design that is a character of Doraville, in our opinion, that we say is a way, it's different, it's unique, and it references the past, but it also looks towards the future as a different look and feel.
Well, before you
Yes.
move anymore, let's try moving the podium
All
a
right.
little bit because.
Where are we getting feedback? Yeah. It's like a tuning fork,
Yeah.
a theremin.
Try talking.
Okay, can everybody hear me from there? Okay, no feedback. All right, well, maybe a little bit. All right, so what's on the screen right now is the image of what the building could potentially look like from the from the town green, which would be the centerpiece of the entire development. And at this town green, it would be flanked by other commercial buildings that your new city hall would really set the standard of what was going to happen all around it. So this particular design, it intermixes public spaces and city functions, library functions, and event functions all into a space that sort of juts in and out as it goes up through the building. And it provides a level of transparency and sort of openness for the building, and places where people can occupy the building at different levels on the exterior that will help energize the public green from afar. So as we're looking, this sort of is going around the southwest side of the building as we are coming up the street. And this would face the street and would be the main entry from the new created street. for the building. So on one side of the building, we've got a 3-story building, and on the park side, on the street side, it's a 3-story building. On the park side, it's a 4-story building. And on this particular level on the street side is where you enter into the library space. And this is wrapping around the side of the street again. I'm gonna go back to the floor plans really quick here and sort of walk you through the space really quickly as you might encounter it as you're coming from the street. If you're coming from the street, you would have two ways of entry into the space, really. One is to go into the lobby, which would allow you access to the upper floors, the city hall, the council chambers, meeting spaces, and also to go downstairs to other event rooms and to a cafe that and tenant spaces that are on the lower level. This particular level also has an entry to the library space that takes up the majority of this floor. This space is actually a great place to enter the facility and allow you to have public access and views over the green space. It also allows you to keep that library open at hours separate from the city hall so that you can keep separate hours and keep the public space, which is the meeting room that you see on the right side, open for use for special events, for community groups to come in and use that space. So it can actually be separated off from the library as well, but used by the library for functions such as reading, book clubs, for children's story time, all sorts of things can happen in that space. It can also be divided into multiple rooms so that you can have multiple small meetings happen in that space as well. The library itself is larger than your current library. It allows you to grow your collection and also offers some other unique things, which transition down to the green space level, which we're looking at embracing some of Doraville's other past, which is pretty important, is that the recording studio and the music industry that is very important in Doraville's history, and having recording spaces as a part of this library, as well as a maker space on the lower level. On this level, you also see that there is there's a cafe space, a pop-up shop, and a tenant space that could be a place for artists or other folks who the city might want to engage or have that as a public space in the future. The pop-up shop provides a unique opportunity to serve people who are actually on the public green, and provides a unique place where you can have an ice cream store or even somebody selling Frisbees or something like that. The cafe is obviously, it's a cafe that is meant to be open at multiple throughout the day and not just at certain times. So it activates that green space all the time and attracts people to the City Hall building. Up on what we call level 2, which is the second level above the street, is the actual City Hall level. This is where most of the government functions occur. We have several, as you get off the elevator, we have a lobby that allows you to meet with different departments. Similarly to how the City Hall works today, where you come into a lobby space and approach a window where staff can help constituents. Also, there are public meeting rooms across from that lobby that allow for meetings to happen. That meeting room can also be combined into one meeting room. As we look into the staff space proper, This staff area allows for the growth of the staff over time as Doraville grows, but it also really addresses all the needs and helps the critical functions be in one space together, which is what was lacking at your old City Hall location, and allows it for a more collaborative work environment. Other than that, we have staff break areas and also the outdoor patios, which are rooftop decks on this particular floor, which are, there's a public one on the right and a small staff one to the left. This public one on the right could be opened up to the meeting rooms and allow for public events to happen there on that particular floor. On the top level, that's where the council chambers will be. That council chambers will also allow for use as an event space where it can be converted. The dais could be removed and put away, which would allow that space to be used for weddings, other parties that publicly significant events as well. Also, there are two other patios on rooftop decks on this particular floor that would overlook the green. And this would allow for those events to be indoor-outdoor activities. And there's a warming kitchen as well that would allow for catering to occur there. The remaining drawing in the packet is really, it's an elevation study that shows the schematic elevation views. This project is, if you think about different stages, the schematic design stage is where we are at now. So it's about 30% through. We are thinking about all aspects of it, but this is the design direction that we're proposing today. And with that, I'll open it up.
Chris, did you have anything you want to add? Okay. Well, everyone got a chance to ask questions. I guess I know it's not really part of this design plan, but Chris, do you mind maybe for the public just talking about like how the roads are changing? Because I think in thinking about this project, like you have to kind of understand we're not looking at the old Park Avenue anymore, really.
No. So this is actually, because we're having to wait on some of the borings, the building sits on the side of the current police department. There's a new street grid that will be put in place. So you'll have a new road cutting kind of behind where the police department is now, then coming around the other side. And then there'll be a new street directly behind Shaken Crawfish.
It basically extends the driveway that came down to Flowers Park.
Yes, and that road also will continue across Park Avenue up to Central. So it's creating new connectivity, new street grid. Again, it's not part of this, but part of the planning is we'll have removable bollards to where you can close off those streets at different times for events. Kind of like if you've been to the Battery, they do that there. Same idea here. We'll have the flexibility to do that. And just kind of going in reverse. Same with some of these other parcels around it. So up where, was it old CPACs? Before my time, but where that building was, the plan is that will be surface parking in the interim, which will serve this area. And then at some point it'll redevelop as well. And that's when you'll probably have structured parking there. Same with the area where the swimming pool was, that'll be regraded. So obviously this whole site's max graded. But that can be surface parking. It can be our food court, something, whatever we're going to do over there. So all of it kind of plays together, but we try to be flexible with that. And I think that carries over into the building. Some of the things you saw in the building gives this council, future councils flexibility in the future to do different things just as needs arise. And you do have extra space in there if you need more space for city staff or anything. I mean, I really think it's a multi-decade building as far as being able to do city services and keep them all in one place.
And around the park, the idea is to have like pads that would have different retail or restaurant businesses, right?
Yes, that's kind of, I mean, I was joking, you know, y'all get my weekly report, but it really is, I mean, we're still doing a lot of work, because we would like to at least get something going on two of those pads at the same time this is built. Just because you're putting all that hardscape in, the green space, everything else, you don't want to tear it up, to come back. So, working hard, Kaufman Capital's working hard, trying to find some folks willing to come in there and do that. So hopefully we'll be coming to council and having that discussion. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea is make it a live place. You know, that's the cafe down there. And thinking maybe it's a coffee shop at Transitions or something else. Because that's one of the things we had noticed, and Gary Sobel had commented on, other city centers didn't have anything in the morning. So maybe if we have a coffee shop, we have people hanging out and keep it active. So, you know, we've tried to think of everything. I'm sure we didn't, but it's been good. Will's been good. We've made a lot of changes over time, and we brought in a kind of a restaurant consultant and gave a couple of good tips with this building as well. The expanded warming kitchen, stuff like that, to make that top story attractive for people holding events. And the only other discussion we've had on that is may help us with the lease of the cafe if they somehow have access, or we work something out with that top, because it makes that space more attractive to know that you have the ability to host events up there. And it's a natural tie if you already have a kitchen in the same building. So anyway,
Great.
So Mayor, back to your street grid thing, it's sort of that rendering that Kaufman Capital showed us, right? Sort of, is that what he was?
Well, I've seen a lot of renderings over time, so I just want to make sure that
yeah, it's
when people are
right.
looking at this plan.
Yeah, it's the same as you've always seen. This is just truly focused on the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will come back. I mean, the street grids, it's there. I mean, that's what we're doing. This is designed to that. We know everything. It's all those corners are mapped out.
Yeah, that's
We
all I
just
was
need
asking, that street
approval
grid we saw.
for the building. Nothing else has changed. We will bring that to you later. The true, I don't know what the official term, but what the landscape architects are working on with the green, because they've got cool ideas with that too. It's not just gonna be a big rectangle.
Site layout?
Site layout, elevations, because that's what I mean, some of the plans that they've given us, it's not flat. You know, it's kind of like you see, there's elevation change, there's piers, there's stuff like that, but that'll come to you separately. This is just so they can go get a building done.
Well, everyone's going to have a chance to ask Chris and Will plenty of questions. I have one more question for Will. Just basically to the thought of the council chambers, it's really not a council chambers, it's really a multi-purpose space that will be used for council chambers on the 2 nights a week. There's a council meeting for planning commission on those nights, but most of the nights it'll be available for other purposes, you know, based on needs in the community, right?
Exactly. I think the overall, we see this and you guys obviously witness it all the time, that there are these rooms that city councils have and they only get used once or twice. And this is an excellent opportunity for you guys to provide a public resource for the community of Doraville to actually use that space. And the idea is that every part of it that is city council sort of folds away and can be sort of put away so that space can become just an event space.
Great, thanks. Councilmember Simmons?
Well, thanks, Mayor. No, I think it looks great. And I actually been looking at it and thinking since we had them, I really like the rendering, that color scheme there, just for my input. The one you guys recommend, I think that definitely fits. But my one question is, in the council chambers, just when you start designing the layout a little more and get more into the details, just think about an executive session chamber when we do it.
But so we talked about that. You probably would just get up and walk down the steps
Okay,
and go to one of the meeting rooms downstairs.
fine with that.
Otherwise, we're killing more space.
Right.
You can get there in 2 minutes.
No, I'm
So
fine,
that
as
would-
long as you guys thought about that. That was
Yeah.
really my only comment on the layout. Other than that, I think it looks great. I like the layout. I like the flow. I like how you can section off some spaces so you can utilize some at night. That's really good with the car rears. And other than that, I know we talked about color schemes and all, and I definitely am all in favor of this one. So
Yeah, this was kind of what y'all landed on. Oh, the other cool part, we'll have the big A fans on the awning. So, because that's, again, we want to make it useful.
that's the manufacturer name, everyone.
That's
It's
big
Big
A.
Ass Fans.
Yep. And so we'll put them under, and then, same with the heaters too. So just want to make it, as
Yeah,
useful.
'cause at night-
Do it now.
That was a good comment because at night you definitely, in the winter, you definitely can't use that without the heater. So that's good. Thank you.
And I'd much rather have them fixed in place than us trying to drag those in and all that mess in the future. So anyway, so that's kind of detail we've even talked about.
And then we'll hash out the grass turf deal later.
Yeah, that's the next battle.
Mm-hmm. So thank you. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Evans, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I wanted to ask more about the finishes, the white brick, the glass, the overall maintenance of that. So if Will could speak towards that, like how, if there are certain coatings or some type of finishes to help keep the white brick clean over time, of course, pressure washing, but anything just with the material itself.
Yeah, so one of the things that we were looking at is the potential of using a glazed brick. Council person Henshaw actually recommended that, and it's a good recommendation, which allows it to be basically sprayed off with water, and makes it a very easily cleanable. The other brick is a darker brick. And so in terms of standing up over the test of time, that would actually be relatively it would be relatively maintenance free. Otherwise, you're looking at pressure washing it to keep it clean.
The glass.
And then the glass is also that it does need to be on a maintenance schedule of some sort over time where you need to have somebody come and wash it. But many building owners choose not to. It's really up to the schedule, but it really is just somebody cleaning the glass.
Gotcha.
That's all it takes.
And then there's a lot of flat lines. What about water poolage? Can you talk about the spill off so it's not settling on top of the flat roof lines there?
Yeah, so what we would have particularly on the roof decks is we're going to be utilizing a pedestal paver system, which is basically it creates an elevated walking surface over a typical PVC roof membrane. That essentially allows the water to drain out like a normal flat roof commercial building. We will size in the appropriate amount of roof drains with emergency overflows so that doesn't become a problem for you.
Gotcha. And my last question is the yellow slide there. What did that come about?
So that's actually as a part of the discussion for the overall green space site design. I call it your assistant city manager slide, but it's actually adjacent to an outdoor seating area currently as designed, that is right next to the multi-purpose room where the library is, which would allow for kids to come out and use that area as a story time, but it also is a cool way to get from point A to point B. Fun
Gotcha.
way to get from point A to point B.
I'm sorry, I thought I was done. I have two more questions. What's the overall, if you don't have the exact number, but approximate total square footage of the building?
Okay, so we're looking at about 31,000 square feet for the overall square footage of the building. So that doesn't include the outdoor patio areas though.
Gotcha. And then level 0, I couldn't determine if there were actually any windows for natural lighting. Do you have a formula in place for addressing that?
So many of the spaces on level 0 are back of house sort of storage spaces or mechanical spaces. The areas that we are looking at potentially, and some of that actually came up as commentary that we need to study a little bit further as we take this into design development, are ways to get some clear story openings into those spaces. A large part of them are mostly underground. Yeah, it's a basement. So, but there are some opportunities to get some light in above. I think on one of these slides here. Yeah, you can see up near the on the far left side near the base of the building. That actually, those are some windows that are cutting into the lower level.
Gotcha. Great. All right. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, right there. Windows looking in, so that's looking into the maker space area of the library.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Kuntz.
No, I appreciate the work that we and you guys have done on this design. And one of the things that this council was very clear about is we wanted this to be not just a monument to government, but be a usable, that's why we're calling it the People's House. It's where people can use the building. And there's not a lot of pretentious multi-story atrium, curved staircase, fancy design on the inside that wastes a lot of room. It's all usable space. And I love the exterior. I mean, it's got nobody will mistake this building for something else. It really fits with the community. And I like this color scheme too. The dark gray with the white, I think looks really clean and shows off the organic design of the building outside of the building. And I did see a question, or somebody online or on Facebook was asking about, like, is there room, where's the art space? This is supposed to be like art, maker space. It's like there's maker space, there's recording space, and there's this, like this public, private, tenant something space, that'll be worked out in the future, who and what's occupying that space. But the idea is this ground level on the green space was designed to be active late into the night. And when, the library's on the second floor, it may close at whatever times the library closes, however we determine how late it stays open. But then it's designed so that different parts of the building can be open at different parts of the day and night, it makes it super flexible.
If you look down at the level 0, as far as the restrooms, same thing. You can lock off the rest of the building, and then people would only have access to the restrooms off the green. So we tried to look at that.
Right. If you have movie night out there, we have restrooms that are accessible, but they can't get into the makerspace and all that kind of stuff. And so it's designed to be, it's just like like you were saying, Mayor, the council chambers. It's designed where they can pull out the dais. We have our council meetings and stuff, but then the dais is pushed up against the wall, and then it's a big open room where you can have a banquet or you can have that sort of thing. And so, which is space that the city really is lacking. We don't have a lot of space to have a big, dinner, banquet, big dance parties or whatever, people want to use that space for. And so it'll be a great place for the community to use for whatever they want to use it for. And some of these other rooms too, like this public meeting rooms, those could be leased out for people to have birthday parties there or whatever they want to do when the library's not using that space. So it just gives a ton of flexibility. And like, again, all the space is usable. So I love this plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Ray.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple questions, or maybe just one. So with the level 0, that cafe space, when I hear cafe, I think coffee shop and sandwiches. Does that have a full like commercial kitchen if a restaurant wanted to move into there?
Yes, it's full commercial kitchen. We're working with Dash, it's David Avis. He's got barn and all that over there. So yeah, he weighed in on as far as the size of the kitchen, the back office stuff and everything else and what made sense. And again, that's what going back in, I don't want to build expectations because we'll see who we get. But you know, the idea would be something that hopefully would be open breakfast time, lunchtime, and supper time. You know, part of the idea we saw when we were at Sugar Hill, they had a space there that was a coffee shop in the morning, and then it was beer and burgers or something in the evening. You know, it transitioned, which Minwa is doing just down from us. So you see that a lot more. I mean, as expensive as real estate is, you want to be open the whole time if you're paying for space. So that's our idea. David seemed to think that's viable. So, and that's the key. So we've talked, and we'll have to talk more in the future. We need these places to be successful. Don't want to burden them with big leases or anything else. We need successful businesses. So, last thing you want, I met my parents a few times at Lazy Dog up there at Peachtree Corners. There was always somebody in it. They closed. So, dang, that's right there. So just shows you the whole world of restaurants and everything. And I'm sure their lease was hefty, but still that's the challenge. We want successful businesses, but to your point, yes. And that's why we've been flexible with a little pop-up shop in the front. Ice cream, pops, boozy pops, whatever, something that's kind of fun, something that will bring people in and bounce in and out.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah, that's one of my concerns. Another thing I was thinking about is, since we're going to be controlling this space, it's a good chance for us to still focus on kind of international cuisine and those types of business owners who are wanting to come in and have some say in, keeping Doraville kind of unique and weird in that sense, weird in a good way. At least how I would define it in a good way. So anyway, I bring that up because I'm wondering, I know we don't want to compete too much with other restaurant spaces going on, but is there a way that we can not build out a kitchen, but look at the utilities and wire up the other side of that retail space to allow for future restaurant additions? That's not my area of expertise, but I'm just trying to think long term.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I think the cafe is enough. Plus, where our financing is, I'm really only supposed to have 10%. Private.
Okay.
We even had the discussion, I did a little bit when we were doing the top. I want it great. I wanted everything else, but do remember, we're gonna have 3 other buildings that y'all want to require rooftops on them as well. So, again, I want us to be great, but I don't want to scare off somebody else for trying the same thing. So it is a balance. The reason we've got Dash helping us out too is to see again, what's viable. I mean, and what makes sense. And again, we've got very successful restaurants in town. Do you want to compete with them here? And you got to have somebody that's going to make money.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's fine.
We've got a couple, 2 or 3 that are well-known local. Maybe they want to relocate.
I think there's an interest. I was talking to a guy on Friday night who he can't open the Thai chicken business that he wants to in Pine Tree Plaza because they have an exclusive non-compete for the Wingstop.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, I really want to stay in Doraville, blah, blah, blah. I think the challenge, and this is something we'll have to work out later on, is going to be part of the reason that a lot of the businesses that have been successful here have been able to establish themselves is the rents. And so we really have to look at, I don't think it's going to be, if we want to get like a cool immigrant business in any of these spaces, we're not going to be able to get charge top of the market, right?
You can do food truck pads that aren't very competitive with the business theirs, and that works.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's what I'm getting at. I just want to try to make sure we maintain that character and offer those opportunities long term. So, I think that's it. I'll just say that I appreciate you all taking our feedback and finding kind of a design that I don't think any of us necessarily knew is what fit with Doraville, but does. One of the reasons I wanted to be on council was to make sure that we have a pedestrian focused downtown, something that is not a monument, as Councilmember Kuntz said, but really a catalyst to community development. And I think this is an awesome, I hesitate to call it first step, more of a broad jump into that direction. And I'm very excited about it. So thank you for all the hard work on that.
Yeah. And just run, as far y'all won't set the leases on those other 3 because city doesn't have the ability to build them. So, I mean, we got to find,
If we're gonna get a special one,
Mouth pack.
we have to use that space.
yeah, yeah.
Councilmember Henshaw.
Yeah, a couple comments. I try not to be an arbiter of taste, so I'm not going to talk too much about the aesthetic of the building, other than I do like it. There was a public comment earlier that previous plans for downtown, that the topography of the site really limited what was possible, and it was seen as a hindrance. And one of the reasons that we chose Kaufman Capital as a partner is that they brought on H. Gore and Flippo Design, who from day one saw it as an opportunity, a challenging opportunity, but as an opportunity for what can be done on the site. And I think the architecture group has done the same. They've took a building that has multiple entrances, some very difficult access and accessibility challenges, and on multiple floors with multiple tenants. And not only were they successful in sort of integrating all that into this design, but they did it in a very kind of compact manner. It's a hyper efficient building as far as circulation is concerned, both horizontal and vertical circulation, with a fairly tight core, which really allows for every wall to be windowed. Every corner of the building has a views into the building. So it's really unusual in that you can do that. Typically, you have staircases on exteriors of buildings that taking up great real estate, and we don't have that here. So I want to applaud them for being efficient with taxpayer dollars, which is something we charged them with as a council. I did some quick math, and this building is coming in at, I mean, I hate to throw a number at it, but it's $15-20 million for the building, which is insanely less expensive than anybody's building. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth for saying it. In the greater Atlanta area, nobody's building city halls for that price. So I applaud them on building an efficient building that's not just city hall, but it's a catalyst for other things as well. So I do like the ideas of low maintenance materials on the exterior, as Councilmember Evans said. And I think there's opportunity for small changes here, but I think you guys are on a really, really, really good path. I also want to applaud how welcoming the building feels. The large overhangs on both the street level and the green space are really, really nice for bringing people psychologically into the space and making them feel welcome without being oppressive. And that's not easy to do. So yeah, I'm really pleased with where this is going. I would say I just need a bathroom next to council chambers because me. So other than that, no, it's great. And I look forward to the sort of the next. I don't know what our input's going to be from here forward, but I look forward to seeing the next iteration of this as it moves forward, because it's like Councilmember Ray said, this is one of the reasons I joined council, was to help see this through, and one of the reasons I'm running again is to help see this through. I want to see this finished and be part of it. It's exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Armistead.
Thank you. Well, one of the reasons I joined council was to make sure we had great future library space, and I think this definitely fulfills that. I think there's great sightlines in the library space, plenty of room. I love that there's the potential for them to use the maker space downstairs and all the different meeting rooms. I just love it. I love that we have plenty of room to grow, because I was afraid that we would move into this building and be busting out of it in a year, which we obviously won't be. There's so much flexible space. So many opportunities for the community to use the meeting rooms, which is something, like Councilmember Kuntz said, we are sorely lacking. There's never any good place to have a meeting for like a neighborhood organization or all of those things. I just love it. I love that we prioritize some shade on those outdoor spaces so that we'll actually be able to use them in the summer. And you'd also promise that the white glazed brick won't be like sparkly. Which I'm excited about because I love this color scheme, but I had the same question about the white brick. So I think it's great.
All right, any other comments over here? Councilmember Kuntz?
No, and she made me think of something, because the way this building's laid out, there is plenty of room for growth. And, as this whole site develops, it may be that, hey, the city needs this area where this cafe is, but there's another cafe across the green now, and there's another one over here that we can go, okay, it doesn't make sense. We need to move. We need more room for the art group, or we need more, we need more city hall room, or what, we need to put, and it's easy to move stuff around, and none of the space is just like, super, specific to a certain use. And so the fact that, you know, like you said, this, you know, 10, 15 years from now, there's still going to be plenty of room in this city, in this building for whatever the city grows into. So
And remember, with this overhaul project, you leveraged land across from it to be where you are right here with, you know, what, 10,000 square feet right next door. That same thing, you got flexibility with it as well, so.
exactly. So
that's
this
a
is,
lot. Yeah.
it's great.
Councilmember Henshaw?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, you know, we talked about it, how flexible they are, but these community spaces, both the outdoor and indoor ones, there's lots of opportunities for voting to be here, which is great. Senior luncheons to be here, which is great. And then other community events as well, which were mentioned. But I know the seniors need a new home, and this is going to be great for them. I miss the senior luncheons. I've been so busy lately. I apologize, but I can't wait for them to have an outdoor one on the terrace. I think that'll be exciting. So, yeah, I just want to applaud the flexibility of the building has been, it's a good use of taxpayer money, in my opinion.
Thanks. Councilmember Evans, do you have anything else?
No, I feel like I didn't express how much I do like the building. So thank you for circling back to me. But yeah, I think it's amazing. Thank you for listening to our comments and our concerns and addressing them. And the People's Building looks amazing. Look forward to the next steps of what that brings.
Anyone over here have anything else they need to add? Okay, I guess I'll just say, you know, for members of the public, this has been a process over 5+ years that at least Councilmember Coons, Councilmember Henshaw, and I have, you know, gone to many different city halls across North Georgia. We have, you know, gone through multiple iterations of, you know, how to finance it, kind of visioning sessions, you know, and I feel really good. I was always a little bit worried about what we might end up with, but I think that the fact that you've got 7 people up here who do agree that this is a good design that meets what I believe, you know, our community really needs at this time and for the next 50 years, because I'm trying to think in, you know, generational terms, thinking of when the last city hall was built. I think this is a great plan. So I want to thank you all for the work that you've done on it. With that said, I think you all want approval from us to move forward. So would anyone like to make a motion approving this building design?
I'll make second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Keep going. Hurry. Run.
There's no red glass.
Yeah.
No comment. All right, great. Well, next up, we've got Majira Bunting. I appreciate you guys being here late on a Wednesday.
So, members of the council, mayor, good night. So we are going to present a proposal for the sponsorship policy for the city of Doraville. The whole idea is to cities as well as city of Doraville have been recognized the benefits to have sponsorships available for nonprofit organizations and groups. Sponsorship opportunities are like events, activities, or programs that can bring not only joy, entertainment, but also opportunities to grow the local economy, bring more visitors, increase the tourism. So there are many benefits to provide these opportunities can bring. There is a little bug around. So, the purpose of this policy is provide the council kind of like the tools of how to provide this sponsorship, the criteria, they establish what is available or no, a procedure so we can have more sponsorship in an organized form, and also create a guidelines for the requester, the members that has been requested for support to how they can do it in a more organized way. The policy will have the definitions, qualifications, will describe what types of sponsorship will be available, as well as the responsibility and the whole process, including the reported and how the city have the rights to approve or deny a sponsorship request. It's important to define here that sponsorship can be the financial, when we will provide some monetary support, or in-kind support. For the financial one, it has to be a nonprofit organization, and if for the in-kind can be anyone, or group, organized group or nonprofit organizations. The amount top for this sponsorship will be $5,000, and this funding will be allocated during the budget moment, annually process, during the budget process that is done annually. Kind of in-kind support will be when they request us for assistance, when they request the city staff to be present in events or activities, when they provide like a additional promotion, as well that use the logo of the branding of the city. The process will be an application for them, for any organization or group that wanted to request the sponsorship. We will review that all the requirements that are listed in the policy are completed, and if this have all the requirements, it will be presented to the council for the approval or denial. Then we will notify a requester, and the availability of funds will be based on the first come, first evaluated. We also present some of the kind of support that in the past the city has been providing to different organizations. So you have an idea of what kind of funds we have been providing in the past. And this organization also has been requesting some amount of money for the coming budget fiscal year. We will have also an additional funds of $4,000 that we will include in the budget for your approval. And these are the kind of financial support that has been requested. We also listed the in-kind support that the organizations has been in the past request. So basically, this is a proposal to present to see what your opinion is. You have some recommendation or changes, or you want to be presented as a resolution in the coming council meeting.
All right. Well, this is a policy, so does the city need to, the council need to pass something, or is it just saying we agree with the policy?
Policy and council not object, and it's implemented on.
Okay. I guess I just had a couple of questions. For things like Feast or, when participating with Doraville Chamber of Commerce, have those requests all come to the council up to this point, or were they just approved as a minor, like they're relatively small amounts, so it's not?
Well, all of them up to now, some has been come to the council, some has been through the staff request, and that's the way that we now wanted to do it more like organized. Like you say, is small, but our budget for this kind of support is also not too big. So is we established that the limit was 5,000. Some of these organizations are asking in different events or support that amount. So.
Okay. Well, I guess I would just say that's something for council to think about as they're talking through this, just because that would be a change. We'd have all these requests coming through to us, versus some of the things that might just be, you might just want to approve it, or maybe is there going to be a vetting process first so that you're looking at it, or someone on staff is looking at it and saying, this really, we don't think it's a great decision, or would it just all have to go to council
Well,
if someone requests it?
That's part of the policy is establish all the qualifications, and in the application, they have to respond to all of that.
But assuming they have the qualifications,
And if they respond all of that, yes, we will submit it to.
it's just like the council will make the decision,
Mhm.
yes, no, yes, no, yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. We'll see what questions folks have. We'll start with Councilmember Evans.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Mayura, for presenting. I like the ideal of the policy. I'm just trying to understand in totality how it would work. So the example I'm thinking of, you mentioned that they would have to have a 5013C. Is that accurate? Did I hear you correctly?
That's correct. For a request of a financial support, they will need to be a nonprofit organization. If this an in-kind support, will be for any organized group.
Okay, so does this address in-kind and financial?
Correct.
Okay. I was thinking schools, like if it was a career day or a back to school event that they wanted some sponsorship for, which they probably don't have a 501c3, would that apply to this sponsorship policy?
They can apply for an in-kind support. And
Okay.
that's what they has been doing up to today.
I don't think we could give money to the schools anyway, because one government can't give.
Well, if it's not the school itself, but a representative, but they just don't have a 501c3, like a parent teacher association or something.
They will be considered like a organized group. I think for those won't be for financial support.
Okay. Time frame. Is this something that will be available throughout each year? No cutoff dates?
Yes, it will be because the total amount will be determined during the budget. It will be as soon as they submit based on funds available, also in availability to the staff to participate, and then so this is part of the requirement that they needed to submit, and we will evaluate. Because if we don't have funded, we will say, unfortunately, we don't have more funded. Apply for the next year, and then we don't need it to submit it to the council.
Have you discovered, if you looked, any other cities that have a policy like this?
Yes, there are many cities that have policies like this.
Okay.
Mhm.
And my last question, since you've done this research, do you have a recommended amount for the budget process?
We say that for the funded can be up to $5,000 that they can apply. And what we estimated to be the total will be like 10,000 for the next fiscal year.
Total for the whole year?
This is what we have been supported, but that's why we are presenting.
Like, judging from the numbers, that looks like about what we've been tracking all before, right?
Mhm.
Wow. That's surprising. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Armistead.
Thank you. I think this is great. I think we needed some guardrails around how all of this works to make sure that it's fair. And this seems fair to me. And if you think 10,000 is enough, then I'm okay with that.
I think that is more available. This is part of the process of the budget that you will see what is available or not.
Right.
I think it's like you said, when you were talking about amounts, this is very limited what we has been available.
I think like what might be good too is if, annually you could report, say, we had this many applicants and this is how much we were able to give out. And so you could show council those numbers and then they can decide, okay, well, next year we want to inch it up. We don't have those metrics right now, so.
But that's at the beginning of the intent of the transparency with the policy. It's like up to now, I don't know, it's not reflected officially in the budget. So with this is to have a more transparency and clarity, and to kind of like a step from here, people can apply and we can say, this is what is available. And have a requirements and an evaluation, and now decide, yes, this group we give it, to the other no. You have a criteria of evaluation. Is the council consider that this is a small amount? Well, we can open to more. We would love to be. So.
That's good to know. We'll keep that in mind. But we haven't turned a lot of people away
because
yet,
it's
because we
not
haven't really had any official.
There is no a process established, so usually we say we don't have any funding.
Gotcha.
So that's how we say we don't have funding. So
Okay, yeah, well, you're right. This can be kind of the baseline, and we'll figure it out going forward. But I like it. I think it's a good policy.
Thanks, Councilmember Henshaw.
Yeah, conceptually, I really like it. Thank you for presenting. Cecil, I have a question for you. Does this open us up to any liability if we deny one organization and approve another organization?
Actually, having a policy like this helps us, because what we'll do is we'll have a process and criteria, so we can, instead of just sort of, coming up with it based on a determination, we can point to the criteria. So anyone we give a grant to we should look to the policy and be able to say, okay, they meet A, B, C, D, and E. Therefore, we're covered. As opposed to if they don't meet the criteria, they're out. But you'll still have a discretionary. One of the criteria would be a discretionary. What are the goals the city wants to achieve?
Okay, that I think that answers my question, because I don't know that council needs to really weigh in on many of these, and I mean,
I've worked with, basically we'll establish in the budget sort of a sponsorship, a community participation budget. And then what they'll do is they'll open it up one time and say, everybody that wants to make an application, apply now. And we'll get all the applications, and staff can work that process and then make a process of elimination based on the dollars and the criteria and the policy, and bring that recommendation to council and say,
that fits better, I think, with what could work, rather than, oh, this month is this much money, this month is that much money, and then we're out of money. Whereas if you open up a 1 month window where people have the ability to apply for that, build that yearly cycle, then that we can, instead of one group getting all of it, we have 5 different groups that can split it, different, 5 ways. Then
it was enough that people would invest that effort. So there's a little bit of that, but I would much prefer one time, everybody tell us what you want. You can even do it twice a year, but everybody tell us what you want. We winnow them all down. Say we got $10,000. Mayor and council, here's how we propose to spend the $10,000. Here's our process.
I like it. For the record, I'd be perfectly fine with staff handling this as well. I don't know that it needs to come to us, but if other council wants it to come to us, I'm fine with that. But I feel like you guys have done a great job handling these ideas so far, and I'm not sure what we would add to the equation as a council other than making people nervous to come up and present before us, unless it's going to be you presenting all the projects simultaneously and then we kind of winnow through them. But I hate making people come up and speak to us to ask for sponsorships like that. But I'm okay with staff or council as we move forward with this.
I guess the point they just talked about, I guess if we did open it up like once or twice a year, it might make sense before we change that to talk with the people that we have partnered with in the past, to let them know and see what their
Like these groups kind of like consistently ask for this amount every year. So we are kind of like, that's why we put in the list. But again, instead that just consider there, we are going to also put in the
And if
budget.
they're not thinking about their event a year from now, today, and the thing is today, we probably need to give them a little notice that we're changing our policy so they can, put together something before we change it. Council Member Simmons.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a few questions and to piggyback on what other people said. So you said $5,000, that's a cap on sponsorship. Is that per occurrence or is it per year for one nonprofit?
Per occurrence. Mhm.
Okay, so one nonprofit can do, well, I guess if we go twice a year, it'd just be twice. So it'd be 10,000 cap, or it'd be 5,000 cap. Now, can one nonprofit apply for different sponsorships? Like they have an event here, an event there, an event there, and they all can get 5,000 on each one?
Depends on the fund, and it's like we mentioned before, is our fund is very small. So.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, as we grow, I just want at least some process, because my thing, and of course we can amend it, I guess, later. But I was just thinking that, I mean, I saw your list, it's not too many, but with the city center coming and years down the road and this and that, didn't know if we should do like a cap on a certain nonprofit they can have per year so they don't take all the money from the fund up at once. Just think about that, or we can brainstorm that.
Okay.
I mean, it might not be a problem right now, but just thought about that. Whether it's 5,000 an occurrence or 5,000 over the total year or whatever number. Sorry, I keep using 5,000. I'm just going off of what your slide said. I was thinking application period twice a year, just because sometimes you might think up of something later, and I think every 6 months is fine. And it also helps them roll in for something for the new year or something, however it rolls over. Let's see. Does our TNR program, that doesn't fall under this sponsorship, right? That we have in the budget?
That should be its own.
I just want to make sure because we bumped it up. Yeah, we bumped it up to 7,500. Just wanted to make sure.
Could you repeat, please?
I think they just answered it for me.
Separate. That's the trap, neuter, and return
Yeah.
process with the Cubs animal.
And then, so this slide you had for city sponsorships, that's sort of what you said we had in the past, was like that the past year, you're saying roughly? What we've been
This
asked for?
organization has been kind of repeatedly
Right.
for a couple of years.
Okay. So
Uh,
that's about the average of what you're seeing from
Mhm. Like it
sponsorship.
has been requested repeatedly. Mhm.
So, I mean, I like 10,000, but you might want a little buffer just in case,
It's like we wanted to have like the amount in the budget. So then we can determine, like this is what we have available. We can inform publicly in the newsletter. This is what is available. We can give a time. I think it's a good suggestion to have it once because the amount is very limited. We can do it once a year and establish kind of like a grant process. We can do it like that.
And then, but yeah, I'd say just add a little more because I always get scared with the exact amount, when you do it. And then my last comment would be, hang on, just had a brain fart. What was it? You just come back to me.
Sure. I think that the other thing that I would encourage is we have these conversations with organizations about what did you
No, go ahead.
about sponsorships is try to maximize what we get so that we can get our name on everything that they do for a period of time versus just this one table at one event, but City of Doraville plastered on their stuff for the year. I would rather.
It's like each sponsor seems have the limitation, and we don't have control of that.
Well, I think we could negotiate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a negotiation, right?
We're sponsoring you money. It's like, yeah, you can put our info on it.
When it's this type of event, they establish what they are going to provide. So I think that is kind of an offers that we will say, well, for this sponsorship, level 3, please change it. We can do it, but I think like this is not what, that's why they established the sponsorship level. For other kind of support, like a project or an activity, we probably have more leverage, in the application to make recommendations, we will like this or not. But for the level of sponsorship for events and things, usually they are the ones who establish the criteria. But we put it there that definitely this money, especially not only the financial assistance, but the income assistance has to be for the benefit of the city and the community. So the criteria is established, all the different levels of evaluation and how that will impact. So we can have some kind of say, well, we cannot give you that, or we can give you this or not the other because they will serve better the community. Again, is to have a more organized way to provide the support.
Well, what we can do, I'm just add on to that, is we can have our own table and say, you need to let Doraville have a table at your event, and where we can man it and have our own stuff and our own banner, and that would get around that. But my other comment was, I would like to see it in front of us, just since it's our dollars from Doraville going, we're the voice of the people, and we got to decide. I mean, I understand staff's under us, but I think it's our responsibility to look at the stuff we're going to sponsor and say yay or nay, just because I'm sure we'll get feedback as opposed to staff. That's just my other input on that.
Councilmember Coons?
Oh, I like this policy, and I'm ambivalent about whether it comes to us or not. I'm either way. So if some of the council feels they really want it, that's fine. I don't care. But no, this is a great policy. Thanks for bringing this forward.
Councilmember Ray?
Yeah, thank you. I don't think any real questions, couple comments. I do agree with Councilmember Simmons. I think because we're spending taxpayer money, it's probably worthwhile of coming before us. Not that I think we need to be the arbiters of what the staff is going to be the ones putting in the work. I understand that, but so the public can provide feedback, especially if we go to like a twice a year type of thing, then it's not super cumbersome. Yeah, I think this policy is a great step in the right direction. I'd like to see the criteria before we, officially approve it as a policy, just to make sure we understand what that is. But I will say, I think, kind of given the unique buildup of our city, nonprofits can kind of operate and handle things in a more efficient way. So I would say to the budgetary committee, if possible, consider maybe upping that fund slightly. And, I think a $5,000 cap as far as maybe staff getting to recommend going for that makes sense, but perhaps have something in the policy where if somebody wants to apply for more, maybe it's a more rigorous process where it is an individual thing, but it gives us the flexibility if a really big need comes up and we think this is the best way to handle it, to give a little bit more of that sponsorship money for that. I don't know that would come up. I can't think of a specific scenario, but it just something in there that would allow us that flexibility if needed. So
I just want to add to I helped Majira with this, and part of the reason we said to come to council is that I think almost all of the times we've given funding, it's come as a request from one of you, and you maybe don't know that it's coming, so it's just a way to keep everyone informed of where that funding's going.
Well, I could see it potentially just being like a consent agenda item, and if somebody has questions, you can pull it off, but it's public and it gives transparency and all that kind of thing without wasting
I like that a
our
lot.
time. If everybody likes
that
it,
a
you
lot.
just put it on the consent agenda and it rolls through.
All right. So Majira, it sounds like there's a few comments to integrate into the plan. Do you think you just kind of put the finalized version together for us and maybe share the draft a little early, so if there's any other feedback we can get it, but maybe we could even vote on it and just consent approve it that way versus have this conversation second time.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Mayor, I have one more thing, if you don't mind.
Councilmember Evans?
Yeah, I proposed a hybrid approach, kind of what I've heard what some other council members say, but for major sponsorships like financial, a certain dollar amount to be on a fixed annual schedule or, by a certain date. But then there's other minor sponsorships. Maybe they just need banners or staff assistants or a city space, for example, that's more in kind, but that could be on a rolling basis versus a hard deadline because it's less impact on the budget as well.
Is the in-kind, like, are you seeing the same kind of limit on that one, or would that be more open?
The in-kind is more open. We don't have a limit
So
for
that could be like any time of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, both up to now, both was any time of the year, but we don't have any limited for the ones. But also we have to see the availability of the staff and also the resources that are available.
Okay. And yes, I would like it to see to come to council as well, at least starting off. But one thing, and not saying that this is going to happen, but if there are leftover funds, what happens to those? I would assume it's rolled over to the next year to increase the budget, but have you thought about that?
No, we don't roll it over. We don't, that's just not a financial thing that they do. The only concern with the in-kind is make sure we are aware. I mean, if it's security wise, well, then we're paying officers $50 an hour or $80 an hour, or whatever it is now. I mean, it's very real because we have some events like the 5K fun run, some things like that blow up. I mean, in my experience in the past, we used to support a marathon. We started to go back and look, and our EMS costs were like $30,000 or $40,000. So we stopped. So I sent y'all an article from my former employee. You can read how this can go off the rails. So it can.
Does that answer your questions, Councilmember?
Yep, it does.
And I do like it all coming to you because where I've seen it get in the past is one council member will perceive another council member is using this to curry favor to get votes, whatever. And that can create some hard feelings amongst council members. So I do agree. I'd much rather be here and then not to put me in a position of arbitering how it's spent among council members. So I think that's all good. But in-kind can mean a whole lot more than a cash than a check. So yes.
All right. Do you have any other questions for us? Or are we good?
Yeah, we were going to review it and submit it, and then maybe we'll get some additional information. Is the amounts that you feel more comfortable to include there?
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, Austin, I think you're up again.
Is it going to work this time? We'll see. All right, so this is, this next agenda item is just awarding an invitation to bid that the city released to TSW to update our comprehensive plan in 2026. So as y'all are familiar, a lot of you have participated in the comp plan process in the past. We're required to update this every 5 years. And sorry, Tremaine, Allison has dropped the call if you'll allow her to speak. My presentation. Allison.
Good evening, everyone. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, excellent.
Sorry, Allison, I was like in the beginning there. I forgot to.
No problem. Go ahead.
Sorry. So yeah, our plan needs to be updated every 5 years. The last time we updated it was in 2021. We used the Atlanta Regional Commission at the time to update it, who does provide this service for free. However, the service, the depth of the service that the Regional Commission can provide is very limited. So we actually did talk to them before we released this bid. And their recommendation was, since you used us last time, you should not use us this time. Because we cannot provide the same depth of service that a consultant can, which is how we got here. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, so this is our current comprehensive plan. So the goes from 2022 to 2042. It's a 20-year time frame in these plans. This is our previous one that was adopted in 2016. As you can see, it is, and the point I'm trying to make here is that it is the same plan. So we have been functionally using the same plan with more or less the same recommendations and the same future land use and the same work program and things like that for about 10 years now. The previous update that we did was fairly minor. It cleaned up some of the graphics, updated the work program, updated a few of the recommendations, but other than that, it was not a huge change. So in a comp plan, there are things that the Department of Community Affairs, DCA, requires you to have in a plan. So some of them are listed here on the screen: existing conditions, land use, economic development, community work program, things like that. What we're trying to do this time, and what you see in the invitation to bid and then the proposal that I included in your packet, is we're trying to fold a lot of the city's existing documents that we have into the plan and update some of the cost estimates and some of the recommendations that were in those, as well as one of the biggest ones, we're updating our Parks Master Plan, which is about 10 years old now. So we're doing Honeysuckle right now, but the master plan for all of the rest of the parks and future parks in the city hasn't been updated in nearly a decade as well. Also, like I said, folding in our transportation plans, both the Peachtree Creek study and the mobility study, which we've been doing a lot with the past 5 years. So we need to update a list of accomplishments for that, as well as updating the cost estimates for things like that for when we're going after this funding, which we've been very successful, but have had some hiccups with that. But we also have folded in things from Public Works as well. So stormwater assessment, particularly for the areas that we have annexed and areas that we might annex. Sidewalk conditions, and then the ADA transition plan, which is kind of an ongoing list of projects to come into compliance with the Disabilities Act. So this was a very sprawling bid that we released. I was a little nervous when we released it. I was pleasantly surprised we got 5 submissions from this, from 5 all qualified companies. We ended up going with TSW. Allison is here representing TSW as well. We felt that they were the most competitive and really kind of got not just understood and summarized, but kind of distilled exactly what we felt like they really got to the heart of what we were asking for and what we need out of this plan. So we're recommending that you award it to TSW. Allison, I apologize, I cut you off, but let me or Allison know if you have any questions.
Allison, did you want to add anything?
Sure. I'll just add a quick 1-minute piece of information. So we are really excited to be staff selection for this process. We do comprehensive plans all over the region, all over the state, but everyone is different. And this is a particularly exciting initiative because you all are folding in so many different initiatives. This is what planning should really be about. We should really be integrating everything into a single process. So we're very excited and look forward to hopefully working with y'all over the next year or so.
Who did the 2016 plan? Do you know?
It was Jacobs.
Okay. Councilmember Evans.
I kind of like this remote. I always go first. No, thank you for presenting. This is great. I think it's definitely time, and I think there's a 10-year window where we have to update our comp plan. So we're a little bit early, which is great. I just want to ensure that I would like to incorporate, if not, the special service districts, which includes our downtown as well as the tank farm, that they are allocated as such as special service districts. Will that be the case?
Are you saying you want them to be just reflected in some way on either the land use map or some?
Correct. Yes, that that the way that they're mapped out, and if they ever to increase, et cetera.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't see the problem with calling that out. It's not exactly related to land use, but no, we can try to make sure that those are incorporated.
Okay. What about the phase 2 of Assembly? Would that be the same case?
I mean, Assembly, right now, Assembly has its own dedicated land use and section and everything like that. I imagine that will continue as probably the single largest potential development in the city still. I don't know exactly what that'll look like at the moment, but probably yes.
All right. And then sidewalk conditions, does that also incorporate non-existing sidewalks?
Yeah, those would be shown as places where sidewalks are either necessary or recommended, or perhaps have deteriorated to the point they're functionally not there. So,
all right. And if it does, how does this open up to potential new grant opportunities in today's climate?
Typically, especially for federal funding, one of the first steps is just having some kind of adopted plan that says that you're going to do this kind of project in this area and approximately how much it's going to cost. And this is one of the things that we've been heavily using the mobility plan and the Peachtree Creek Greenway feasibility study for. And so this is one of the to continue being able to use them by incorporating them into this plan and updating the cost estimates and the recommendations that were behind those so that we can continue to use them in the future.
Gotcha. And my last question is time frame. What's the overall proposed time frame of it'll be completed?
We have to have this plan adopted by us and DCA by October 31st of next year. So.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right. And just to clarify, this is a requirement from the state anyway for us to get
Correct.
any kind of state funding, right?
Correct.
So, Councilmember Armistead.
Thank you. I don't think I have any questions. This looks great. I like consolidating everything into one giant document. It's basically all of our guiding principles. So it's worth the money to get it done right. So no questions.
Thank you, Councilmember Ray.
Yeah, thank you. No, I think this is great. I remember when I moved here, one of the first things I did was read through this comprehensive plan and got very excited about the direction. One question I have, you mentioned sidewalk projects and the general cost of that for future grants and stuff. When it comes to stormwater assessment, transportation, things like that, does it also include the kind of potential cost of those items as well in this plan?
Do you mean to build or repair?
Build, handle the infrastructure, things along those lines.
So yeah, sidewalk projects, yes, is the short answer to your question, yes.
Okay, roads as well or anything like that, or is it strictly
There are-
projects we're going to be focused
In the mobility plan, there are a few places where new road connections are recommended. For obvious reasons, we don't have too many of those. But yes, it includes those as well if they're in the plan. So.
And will this be proposing areas for connectivity, like for bike lanes and separated sidewalks and so on?
Yeah, that's all currently that's all in the mobility plan. Part of the kind of folding it in is looking at what we've already done, and then maybe some of the if any of the projects need to maybe pivot or be amended or something like that based on something that.
Okay. Yeah, last comment I think would just be where it makes sense to have just a general estimated cost that we could. I think that'd be worth doing. I'd like long term if we can look at kind of stowing away money so that at least we can do some projects on our own and be not entirely required or beholden to grants and funds we get gifted. I know that's a long-term thought, but I think seeing the kind of overall cost of our goals would be very nice. So where that's possible, it would be great.
Thank you. Councilmember Henshaw.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I'm looking forward to seeing what the newly incorporated parts of DeKalb County, now Doraville, look like added to this comprehensive plan. And really, I think they're lacking sidewalks, they're lacking stormwater, functioning stormwater systems. So it's certainly a large thing that we decided to tackle when we sought that annexation. But this, I think, is the first step to fully integrating that portion of the city within the fold. And I agree, it'll be good to have some basic numbers about maybe low hanging fruit that the city can tackle without that outside funding versus long-term goals and long-term projects. So no other comments other than this looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing sort of the results of all this.
Thank you, Councilmember Simmons.
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, I'm excited about this too with the new annexed area. I know that's definitely needed. I know we sort of added it, but it'll be good to see the needs. I don't know if this is part of this, but can we make the map interactive? When you click on an area, it shows you what it's zoned, so you can pull up and see what's the use and that type stuff just as they go about this. I think that'd be nice on your comp plan if you're able to do that. Just so wish, ask. So if not,
we currently do have an interactive zoning map online and one for the current land, like future land use.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say our GIS.
And it will take you to like what's allowed and sort of what that is.
Yeah. So our GIS, Jude and our intern have been actually working on a tool for that. It's still a work in progress, but it works to do exactly what you're talking about. So.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. And then I know sort of like how we were changing some zones, like no more R3, and we still saw some there, and we're changing some of the zoning. Can we also just make sure like I know you're probably thinking of, and we'll miss some things, just like future trails, like as you said, the Peachtree Creek Greenway. This is sort of where we're proposing it to go. This is a trail possibly coming up here, just so we can show that. And as you said, help ask for grants and funding, because you sort of isolate it, like you said. On the sidewalks, just emphasize the needed areas on this, because I know that is one thing we're lacking in Doraville. And then, I mean, of course, you can find this through DeKalb and whatnot. Do you think it's needed to be shown what's on sewer and what's on septic?
I've been asked that question a couple times over the years. That'd probably be a good tool for us to try to figure out. It is kind of hard to actually find out who's on sewer and who's.
No, I understand.
I think even DeKalb doesn't have great.
Yeah, but just start marking it as we go and it sort of leads to my next question. Is that something you can actually ask for funding for?
To
make sewer? Because I remember when we talked about that, the guy, Mr. Bracken, he had to pay for everyone's tap connecting from the sewer down the road, redo the road just to make it to his house. It was ridiculous.
My understanding and
Right, wasn't it?
begging the attorney for a way to get around it is that we're not allowed to touch anything related to sewer or spend any money on it. It all has to go through the county.
Okay.
So I have talked to Commissioner Patrick about it multiple times. He's talked about, putting together some fund, but I've not seen anything.
Okay. Thank you. That answers that. And then other than that, just future projects that you see on the horizon, just because I know it's hard to get everything, especially with all of us up here. So, but just anything you can put on there just to help with our plan and all is great. And I really love our comp plan and all. It's gotten a lot of funding for us. I hear a lot of cities at these GMA meetings and all asking how to do it. None of them have a comp plan, and it's like it's that easy.
Well, or they have one, they just don't follow it.
Yeah, a very true statement. But no, it helps with funding a lot. So thank you.
Thanks. Councilmember Kuntz.
No, I'm a firm believer this is something hugely important for a city. And the mayor and I were both on the comprehensive plan steering committee for the 2017 plan, and having a really, engaging comp plan, we have public meeting sessions, you have, the tables all set up and maps, and do you like this, do you like that, and getting public input and all that stuff. It came up with a really great plan that was one of the reasons I ran for office, because like, I want to see this happen. And I feel like over the last, since this was done, we've followed the plan. We've changed so much about the city, the zoning map and everything based off of this. And it's time to do another big one. And I know it's a lot of money, but it's something that will steer the city for the next decade. And so, yes, 100% approved.
And I appreciate the comments from my former co-commissioner on the committee that kind of was advisory committee for the comp plan back in the 2017 comp plan back in 2016. And I guess I'll just say, kind of for you, Austin, but this is probably more for the council. I just think that we really need to work hard to get people who we think are future leaders in the city on that committee, like a broad, diverse group, because like Councilmember Kuhn says, she and I were inspired by serving on that committee and went on to run for city council. I ran for mayor because we wanted to see that vision come to life. And I really hope, we're getting to, a decade out from that original one that we can maybe bring in the next generation of people into that group. So we just need to work really hard. I guess, the sooner we know when we need to start finding those people, like we really need to start pulling up rocks and start getting them.
Tomorrow.
So I see if you heard that, council members, tomorrow. So I think it would be helpful for you, Austin, to maybe just send a note to us saying, here's what we need from the people who are going to be on this committee. Here's what their time commitment is. And then we can start reaching out to people. And it'd be great to get people from the new parts of Doraville, people from, kind of more traditional parts of Doraville, but, all different backgrounds. I think that the previous commission did a really good job of pulling together a wide swath of the community. I hope we can do it again.
Right. If we get the list, like we need this many business owners, we need this many, you know what I mean, to get the list of the stakeholders so we know who to go look for.
All right. So would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve or award ITB 25007 to TSW.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you all.
All right. City manager update.
Start out with the city center. On, okay, no. Starting with the city center, again, tonight, that was a big step, huge step. That's usually the hardest, so that's good. And it's followed right up. Park Avenue will be closed as of Monday. So everybody in town will see the construction fencing going up on the perimeter. And Park Avenue will be closed for next year and a half, 2 years. So MARTA's already been notified. We let DeKalb County, all the public safety folks. So that's getting going. One of the things you approved tonight was security cameras for the area, flock cameras. Those will stay. Chiefs work through that with them, put them in locations to where they'll be good moving forward. So that's nice because we will be in an area that could have issues. Same with next week. With the fencing comes the environmental remediation. That's the lead and asbestos removals from the beginning, from the buildings. Talking with one of the guys from Choate, their plan is they'll begin the environmental remediation at City Hall, and they'll just work building to building. So it should help, and I'll try to pin it down hopefully next week, which Saturday we can have our event, our party. Because he said what they would do is just kind of work it like dominoes. So once a building is cleared of the asbestos lead, they'll tear it down. So boom, 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 not doing it all at once. So that helps with our timing as far as y'all being able to get to do something pretty quick. We're getting close on the grading plan. Again, we're trying to balance the site, not penalize Kaufman in any way, but also not help them in any way. So we're kind of working through that balance on the site because, as you know, a lot of topo and everything else. So we don't want to cut it to where we got to come right in with walls or anything like that, but they know they will at some point. So we're working through that process now. I think we about got it done. And then part of this whole process, I think most of you know, but the library will be opening Tuesday, September 2nd. So that's now official. So we got that going. They're going to have a little grand opening celebration. And just as a side, it's been kind of fun because Sloan has said people from Postern, Menwa, Postern, want to come down and hang out at the library, and it's not open yet. So they've taken note that it's there. So it'll actually be a good kind of feel and working off of each other. One thing we've done on the communication side, I've put somebody's in charge of each department's website so that Emily can hold them accountable for keeping stuff current and up to date. So that's on paper. There's a list. There's an individual that can point and tab for not keeping it up to date because truly communications are supposed to communicate. Departments still need to provide the information. Pavement assessment will be done in October. LaFleur just had some scheduling issues, but remember we're doing this because we just did the annexation. So there will be a reordering of priorities, I'm sure, if you've ridden through that area. So I would imagine we'll get that back, and you'll be able to see it in November, something like that. And we can start working through it. The paving for 2025 is done. Everything's being closed out. Final striping's already been done. Y'all will get benefit renewals. Trying to keep it stable with same provider, so we don't go through everybody having to change all that. You'll be getting that next month. And we were nominated for Atlanta's Healthiest Employer for the third year in a row, which is good. Yep. And so we stay active doing that. We got some kind of Olympics, something another coming up. So I have to tape up my hamstrings and try to get out there. Budget committee met again today. So I think we're close, finalizing all that and getting that to you. I think September 4th. I'm just trying to remember the hearings and everything, but I think September 4th was the first. Yep. So that's moving forward. The Motors Industrial Murals, you approved those contracts. Those are sitting with GDOT. Haven't been too long. I don't want to start squeezing them quite yet, but in the next week or two, we will. So we're just waiting for those permits and then that can get going. Business license sweeps, codes working on that. Multiple unlicensed businesses at Peachtree Renaissance. And just wrote more tickets last week for Moscone properties for non-compliance. Assembly.
Peachtree Renaissance, because I tried to look it up on Google Maps.
I know, I saw it too. I don't know. Chuck, police chief has to know. Stewart. Okay, right over.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I knew. Local knowledge. Many years of it. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Or she called it Peachtree Renaissance. Winter's Chapel. It's up there behind the convenience store back in there. Yeah, where we've had issues up.
I know
We've
where
had issues in the past in there too. Yeah. So Assembly has let planning know that they're supposed to be submitting for permits for their band shell the end of this month. So they just got a few days to get it done. We'll see. And I did hear from Justin today. He's the site guy over there, that they should get something soon out of GDOT. They have been working that, and that they do have a contract with Keck and Wood directly now. So we're moving forward. So that's good. And they've paid the 30-something thousand in work up to this point. So we'll see. So nothing yet, but we're inching there. 2 new recruits graduate from the academy this week. We had an armed robbery in Carver Hills. We recovered the vehicle. Assisted City of Monroe in a bomb threat. Is it because we were out at the range, or we actually? Yeah, that's what I figured. Let's see, police mind. So we helped out Monroe because we shoot out there in Walton County, so they helped them out. We worked a case today. I don't know if it'll hit the news or not, but it's kind of elder abuse, neglect, animal cruelty case, just kind of a sad case on Pin Oak. But we had to have DeKalb County had to help us. I think they got about 10 dogs, 4 or 5 cats, and it was just a mess. The house was awful. House is condemned. It's placard, but nobody can go in it. Don't need to go in it. It's one that's going to have to get pushed down. Things are going good at recreation. Pickleball clinic's full. And we got the gyms getting painted in September. We've got a spooky movie night. We're going to be carding people, 13 and up only. It's so scary. Trunk or treat is coming up. So we're trying to get each department to have something for that. And then out here in our parking lot, have the welcoming event on September 13th. So that's Saturday. A block party. That's what I got.
All right. Councilmember Henshaw.
No, I was just going to text my wife that says we need to pick our Halloween costumes for this year for the trunk or treat. No, you guys are plowing through a lot, and I think the comprehensive plan will reveal a lot about the annexed portions of the city and what's lacking there. And I've driven through there a lot, and we'll get it up to snuff eventually. The paving did turn out quite nice. They finally striped McClave, and it looks a lot better now that it's been officially done. So no, there was a comment I saw online. I hate to do it, but McClave was not paved because a city council member lived on McClave. McClave was paved because it was in terrible shape after they had done all the pipe work, and it was deemed by a third-party independent company to be one of the worst roads in the city, and that's why it got paved. So we don't get a say in what roads get paved other than approving the list that gets put in front of us. So just keep that in mind. That's not something we do up here. We don't manipulate that data for our own benefit. So yeah.
I don't think we would pave one street for one city council member
Yeah.
if you're going to do it that way.
Yeah, it's my turn's next, right? So no, so yeah, just you guys are doing great. And thank you for a great summer camp. Again, my kid came home tired every day, slept well, and I appreciate all the staff, the time and energy they put into putting that on. So looking forward to that next year.
Thank you. Councilmember Ray?
Yeah. Only question with I know we were having that issue with the bathroom door got installed incorrectly. Has that all been corrected and good to go?
Crystal promised that Halpern would be ready Monday. And we are working, there was still some standing water, it didn't pass at Brook Park. It's right there in the front where we cut a ditch.
Yep.
I mean, it's not in the building, but they just need to get it fixed. So yes, next week. And I think we're good on all the cameras too. Yes.
Okay. That is it for me. Thanks for all the hard work.
And English Oak is following up. We've already awarded that contract too. So we'll start seeing that moving along as well.
Right. Councilmember Armistead?
Just one question about park closing. Are we going to have something out on social media about that before Monday so people are
Yeah,
hopefully
I
not too
think it's already been out, but I don't know where she's at. on that.
What about that sign that's sitting in the parking lot here? Could we put it up on Beaufort Highway and say Park Avenue closing?
The police have that
Flip
electronic.
it over. Yeah, I mean, we will, but, the number one was MARTA. We talked to their operations people. Austin handled operations and Chief handled their security folks. So, get the buses over there, which I think will help in the long-term goal of maybe shifting a light. That's where they go,
bus is going to go.
up Central.
Okay.
Which is actually, it's more ideal. They don't make a turn. So it's a straight shot in, straight into the bus turnaround. Them coming up Park makes no sense because they go up and they make a right and then make a left. In that silly bus stop that's 100 feet from the station. So it just makes no sense. So, and that was one of the times they didn't even try to defend it. That was fun. That was a couple of years ago in that meeting, but they were like, yeah, why are we doing that? So,
You don't want
yeah.
to. You really don't.
Yeah, no. But I mean, the best part is they'll be able to see there's construction fencing and everything else. So I think hopefully the public, it should generate some excitement. We can put some wind screening and stuff up on there. So we may do, the logo and something like that on both sides of it. So anyway, and if anybody asks, it saves the city money, simpler, safer than trying to keep it open and directing traffic with grading going back and forth and everything else. It makes sense.
What about that bank? Is that the only entrance to the bank on?
Yeah, they're fine. It's just right past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not blocking their entrances. It'll come just to the end of their property line and the Shaken Crawfish. That way they've got access, but right behind there, we'll have to work because we're cutting that new road and behind all those properties. So, yeah.
All right, Councilmember Kuntz?
The access road sidewalk.
Yeah, it's going fine. Best to know they've poured concrete. I didn't go look at it.
I haven't
this
looked. Are they
week,
out there
but-
building?
Oh, yeah. No, they had already,
I haven't gone-
like 2 weeks ago, they'd already brushed it out, cleared it out, and we're grading. So no, I mean, it's wide open.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nope.
So it's good. And I think we're keeping CDBG folks happy. I mean, he's always asking, but yeah, everything's fine. And we're going to finish well under the time.
We should do a ribbon cutting ceremony there and invite the Dunwoody Council.
Right. Since
Well,
we're
that's what I
building it for
thought.
them,
So they can take credit.
We're actually building it for their residents, but that's fine.
I know, as long as y'all get the credit. So, yeah.
They're trying to give it to GDOT, so.
Yes. Hold on. And I will say GDOT there was a couple things because they can be, anyway, they used common sense. They worked with us. We didn't have to replace guardrail. We were able to just regular handrail on the backside. So there were some things, they used some common sense to help us be able to complete that project with the funding. So.
Awesome. That was it. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Simmons?
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, I've been driving down there and it does look good. I saw where they cut and they were getting all that stuff done. So that's awesome. But how about the ramp stuff at Motors with assembly?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Justin told me, they've contracted with Keck and Wood. They're doing that. They said that Gray has been lobbying GDOT to get the approvals. But I think Keck and Wood's been involved with that too, and they're supposed to get that at any time. So, as soon as that happens, I will know. And they've cleaned up the site over there a little bit of assembly. But I mentioned Austin, some of that, just in case you hear, I'm gonna have to talk to them. Really not supposed to be storing all those 18-wheeler bodies and tractor trailers out there in front. Right now it's still kind of an active work, but those are all NBC Universal trucks. That's not supposed to be out there. So anyway, but the site's looking better. They bush hogged it. And so I'd mentioned that to them. So they've done some cleaning up.
So they're ready to go, just waiting on Georgia DOT?
Yeah.
to give them approval?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I say. They, and I don't, but they say we want the approvals before we spend, a couple $100,000 in design work. You don't want to design something you can't build. So.
Well, what they told me, was we went over there for that ribbon cutting. They're also worried about, because this express lane thing, they don't want to build this ramp there, and then GDOT comes back and says, "Oh yeah, that's where we're putting the pylon for the," and so, but GDOT, they don't want to talk about that. So it's
no, and that'd just be a convenient excuse for them. I mean, they could work around it, but anyway, I think most of the supports will be closer. They'll probably go in the median between Motors and 285 would be my guess. But
so the Lennar property's cruising. Those guys are building.
yeah, and I approved
You guys
all
have
of
driven
those
by. They're throwing
permits
them
like
up.
3 weeks ago. So they pulled permits for every single lot in there. So,
Yeah.
whole thing's wide open. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I need to go talk to their framers. Dart, is Dart open? Because I walked by today and it looks so nice with a separate door and a Dart, and
Yeah,
it really looks good.
I honestly, I don't know. I mean, because they're their own nonprofit, but they've got all their stuff set in. I mean, I'm still an old guy that looks at Facebook, so I see their Facebook posts that they need help setting up or whatever.
No, it looks good. I walked by today. I like their separate door.
It looks like they got everything in there.
And they said because the library's not till the 2nd, right? September 2nd.
But they got tons of space.
So no, I appreciate all the work, and like you can start seeing it around town. It's I mean, it happens. People think things just need to happen with a snap of finger. It takes time and careful planning, and you can see that now. So greatly
And when it
appreciate
comes
the
to
work.
private investment, you can't force it. You just gotta facilitate it, make it possible. But one of your future tenants, Minwa, just signed a lease to expand. So they took the space in to expand their kitchen service and things like that. They're now doing lunch.
Nice.
So I would hazard to get, y'all would probably be the first city to lease property to a distillery.
Nice. But no, kudos, and that's like to all staff, not just because I'm looking and talking to Chris doesn't mean just him. Just have fun.
There's been a lot, and this new signage looks good too. And I've seen the huge pylon. We've got that up, and there's still some left to come on the corner there. We just got to get the wiring done. So because that's going to be uplit. My kids called it a coffee cup or something. The little curved cupola there. Yeah.
Sconce. Yeah. No, looks good. I like it. So thanks.
All right. Well, Councilmember, since you seem to be joking about going first, we saved you for last this time.
I noticed. That's fine. No, thank you for the update, Chris. That last subject, the signage at Tilly Mill Crossing, are you talking about the front side of it where it'll say City of Dorville?
Like here on the building we're at now? Yeah, it's where the,
Not the building, but the marquee.
what's that?
The marquee out front.
Yeah, so to that, yeah, we now have signage up on it, the huge pylon sign, the other pylon sign, the smaller one there at the Lumen Apartments. We're already on it, like 3 places stacked down it. Yeah, it came out nice. And then the other signage that we've got left to go is on the corner of the building, that rounded section. We've got the painted quatrefoil, but I think it's the City of Doraville or something. There's something, then we light it.
Yeah, it looks really good. I saw it the other day. Is there still like some stenciling going on the doors themselves, like into the police courts, et cetera?
Interior wayfinding.
Gotcha. How's the pickleball usage? Pretty good?
Yeah. Yeah. And then we can finally play indoors again because summer camp's over.
Do we need another court? Is it that good?
We have the ones at Brook Park.
Yep. And those will get used a whole lot more. We get those restrooms open. So then we'll have people playing there. And there's already people playing. But yeah, right now, it's not exciting to play at 5 or 6 o'clock right now when it's 100 degrees. But yeah.
Thank you for addressing that, Council Member Simmons, about the Lennar project. How's the creek path back there? Is that complete where you can walk around it behind those townhomes?
Yeah, it's been done for what, 6, 8 months, something like that. It's been a while.
Great. And then the proposal, the request for the light on Homeland and Peachtree Boulevard outside their neighborhood, what's the status there?
Like I told you this morning, that we'll get on the floor again because he had promised that a while ago.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it here too.
I know, gig me in public.
And I didn't hear the date for the library. Is it September
2nd? It's that Tuesday. It's the day after Labor Day.
Awesome. That's it. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Councilmember Ray, you had something else.
Yeah, just one more. You mentioned the update to communication, staying on top of that. I think that's great. I was just curious, has there been any discussion between you and the budgetary committee about money for better lit up signs that we can put out? Because not everybody's able to get online or check
Yeah,
Facebook.
we had that conversation today.
Okay, just want to make sure that stays in.
You can hit them up. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep annoying Warren. Don't worry. But
Councilmember Simmons.
I forgot to ask about the ring. Crystal, how's that going? The bus. Oh, okay, cool. All went well. Cool, thanks.
Anything else?
Yeah, I will say I'll do another one for the record, but yeah, they actually got their feelings hurt. They thought we had turned off their power and left it on other places, the theater people. But the deal was Georgia Power just said turn it off the dang police station. Everything was set to be turned off June 30th. So I had Gary went back. We've got it in writing where they said, no, we have your request to turn it off. Then you will not be billed for any usage after that, which is, I don't know, 6, 7 weeks of cooling that huge building when it was 100 degrees. But that's what I was freaking about. I was like, we're not paying that. But they already said no, but still frustrating because we all pay it as ratepayers.
Yeah.
They're being that inefficient, but it was just kind of, just so you know what we deal on a daily basis. You turned the power on? No, we turned it off to all of them. They just forgot. So.
Okay, great. Well, I do hope we are able to try to leverage closing Park Avenue with GDOT a little bit more for the lights, because it'd be great to get them to use this project to push them on,
Yes.
to it.
And it just helps because then at least we'll have MARTA with us.
Yeah.
And they were kind of already, I mean, they already.
It'll help if MARTA will say, who knows what's going on there, but hey, we need a stoplight here so our buses can turn left.
Yep. And this whole, yes.
All right, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've got unfinished business. We've got this nightclub item. Go ahead.
So a follow-up to that.
Mayor, can I make a proposal if you don't mind?
Yeah, let's do that.
That we table this conversation on nightclubs. I know it's been a discussion and this is the first read, but I believe our current ordinance on it is outdated and it doesn't provide the right framework for Doraville's future. So rather than continue it tonight, I suggest that we set it aside and revisit it as part of the broader entertainment district for Doraville. And that way it would allow us to address modern standards, community feedback, and a vision that fits our new city center with the People's Building.
Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is this having to do with the moratorium though?
Well, the moratorium is over.
Yeah,
so-
over the 14th.
So now it just follows like whatever the.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Everyone is fine with that? Okay, I'll call the roll. Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Ray,
Yes.
Councilmember Armistead,
Yes.
Councilmember Simmons,
Yes.
Councilmember Henshaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Kuntz.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Cecil, you're next.
Mayor and council, this is bringing back the two items regarding the animal registry.
Just one.
See, so I
Pulled the
canceled one.
second one off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna, bringing it back, I was gonna discuss that real quick, is the the one that we are prepared to move forward with tonight is the public sale where it prohibits any sales of animals in public places. I included a red line in your package that shows the changes that were made. One is we changed the title to include the nomenclature that the legislature had put on the legislation. Changed that in both the title and the code section title. After speaking with Peggy from the Pet Coalition, she asked we just specifically call out that a code enforcement officer could enforce this. I think they could, but I have no problem with that change. And deleted the state. And besides that, everything is the same in second read. And if we pass this, people will not be able to sell animals on the side of the road to somebody.
Well, we talked extensively about this a couple weeks ago, but do any of you guys have anything? Anyone on this side? Councilmember Evans? Councilmember Simmons, do you want to make a motion?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I'll make a motion to approve, I guess, item B, request for the mayor and city council to approve an ordinance of the adoption of transient sales.
You have a second? We have a second right here. Councilmember Armistead. Any discussion? I'll call the roll. Councilmember Simmons,
Yes.
Councilmember Armistead, Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Henshaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Kuntz,
Yes.
Councilmember Ray.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
And I was just going to make a brief comment on the second item, which we had spoken about. Staff has engaged the county about the registry and that conversation has started. But what we're doing is asking that move forward. So give staff a little more time to go through the details and make sure the ordinance contemplates.
Rather
exactly
it be
that.
right than pass something that's not.
Yeah,
enforceable.
and it's actually going to be not complicated, but it's something that needs a lot of coordination.
Okay. All right. I like to have an executive session tonight, but before we do, see if we have council comments. Councilmember Evans,
No comments. Thank you.
Councilmember Kuntz,
It's been a rough week for me with a lot of things going on. Had a meeting this morning with part of the GMA board that I am on, advisory committee that a year ago was the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Policy Committee, and that can no longer be called that. And so they changed the name. They can't do diversity training. They had a huge racial conflict between people in the staff and the community and stuff. And the GMA guy was like, we can't even talk to them about that anymore. And it's just, the world's just gotten crazy. And I mean,
everyone's being silenced.
Everyone is being silenced. And it's honestly one of the reasons that I decided not to run for reelection, because right now I have no free speech on certain topics as a elected official that as a private citizen I could speak loudly about and not get put in jail. And so, yeah, it's been a rough week for me.
Councilmember Henshaw.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I know we talked about it. It's frustrating. My comment tonight was just going to be that we thank staff a lot, and they deserve it. They work really hard. The police work really hard. Public Works works really, really hard. They're out there in the sun, just like the police too. But council up here has been great. I really appreciate all the work that you guys have put in. I never have to show up thinking that you haven't done your homework, that you haven't thoroughly thought about it. I appreciate all of the energy that you guys put into the positions up here, and I appreciate sort of I don't know if synergy is the right word, but maybe momentum is a better word that we have as a council. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for what you do. It's difficult right now in the current greater political climate to do the things we want to do, but we're pushing ahead and making the best of a bad situation. And I know that's not easy. I'm up here doing it too. So I appreciate you guys and the work you do. And Gerald, you're not up here today, but you're up here. So yeah, thank you guys, everybody who's up here, and Mayor as well. You're part of the council, right? So yeah, thank you guys for the work that you do. We don't get thanked a lot, which is not why we're up here. I'm not asking for people to reach out to thank us, but I appreciate you guys. So that's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Armistead?
Thank you. I second that. And also, I appreciate the hard work everybody has put in to get those beautiful building drawings in front of us and approved and moving forward. And I can't believe we're going to close Park Avenue and kick this thing off on Monday. So congratulations to everybody who's been working on that a lot longer than I have, but I'm excited.
Thank you. Councilmember Simmons?
I'll third that, Councilmember Henshaw. We definitely flow well. So, got some info. DART is in a soft opening right now. September, they'll be open with more classes. Just FYI regarding DART. But no, I was just gonna say, I guess all parents are happy their kids are back in school now. I know everyone, you can tell with traffic, school is back in session. And yeah, I dropped my son off at college Monday as a freshman. It's really cool. Now he is on his own, not calling me to help him out, so I can spend more time helping you residents here now. So congrats to everyone back in school. I know you kids probably don't want to hear it, but they're probably not listening to this. So there you go.
Councilmember Ray?
Yeah, thank you. I'll echo all of that and just say what a monumental thing we got to do in approving that building today. The direction of the downtown, anyone still watching, we've got this comp plan coming up. I can't think of a more exciting time to try to get involved and help shape the direction of the city. So if you have any interest in that at all, please reach out to any of us. If you know any of us, if you don't, do so anyway, and try to get involved. But it's really exciting. It's a big deal. And we're going to have a real community gathering space. And I couldn't be more pumped. So
Thank you. And yeah, I guess I'll just kind of go with the spirit and say, every council, every group of people is going to have disagreements sometimes. But I'll say every single day that I am up here, I think how lucky I am to be working with this group of people who are generally on the same page and working to make the city of Doraville what I think will be a stronger, more connected community in the long term. And I'm lucky to be sitting up here with people who share that vision. And, even when there is a disagreement, I understand that everybody's trying to do what they think is the best course of action for the city at that time. So I appreciate you all also. With that, I would like to see if anyone would like to make a motion to go into executive session for personnel, litigation, real estate, and/or cybersecurity matters.
So moved.
First and second. All discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and we're going to turn off the video. If anyone wants to come back to City Hall and watch us gavel out, you're welcome to, but we're going to turn off the video. Thanks.